Are you planning to start a business this year? If it is a yes, do you know that you can start a business of 5 million Kenya shillings with only 100,000 shillings? You think it is impossible? Let me explain to you how. Have you ever gone to town wanting to buy a phone? So you go to a phone shop and you tell the seller the kind of a phone that you want. And in fact, sometimes you can see it displayed on the screen inside the shop. And you say, this is the type of a phone that I want. Another guy tells you that they have run out of stock for that particular phone and he needs to rush to the store so that he can pick that phone for you. So he ensures that you agree on price. So if it is a phone for 25,000, he confirms that indeed you are willing to pay 25,000 for that phone. And he tells you, give me just 2 minutes. So the guy does not go to a store anywhere. He doesn't have those phones anywhere. So he rushes to the nearby shop. They know each other. He tells the other shopkeeper, I have a customer. How much do you want for this? The last price. So this other guy says, I can take 22,000. So this guy, within a few minutes, 2-3 minutes, he's back, gives you the same phone that you had requested for. You pay 25,000. He pays 22,000 to the real owner, and then he pockets 3,000 very easily. So that concept is called just-in-time inventory management system, where you don't stock products expecting people to come. You just stock just in time when the demand is there. So therefore, for such a guy, what he needs to do, or what he has done rather, he went to town, located a strategic shop in those front shops in busy avenues, in busy streets like Moi Avenue. It could be Tomboya Street, it could be River Road, Ronangala Street, those busy ones. He perhaps, because this is a front shop, it attracts high rent. Perhaps the rent is 20,000, it is 30,000, it doesn't matter. But this guy knows very well the location is everything for his business. And he puts some dummy phones. Dummy phones means these are toys, something that imitates the original phone, but it is not. So those ones you can buy even for 10,000 for many phones, and he displays them in the front counter. So that just in case, that's just in time inventory management technique can save you so much money of a startup cost. The good thing with this, you don't even need a very big shop. You need a very small shop, but in a very strategic location. Number two, and of course, when you need a small shop, it means that you are also not paying so much rent compared to some guy who have gone for a whole container of phones from China, and therefore he has to really rent out a big space. But more importantly, this person does not have to invest so much money. The 5 million Kenya shillings, for him, he just need 100,000 and some connection just to know who are these people who are selling these models of phones in the neighborhood. And he creates a good rapport with them. He tells them that I have a shop at one of the front shops, and these are my details. So, he gets trusted. So he relies on sourcing phones from the neighbors. So he doesn't have to invest a lot of capital in that business. And if he has money, he can invest somewhere else. And number three, for this guy who is very strategic, he doesn't face the risk that whenever he buys large stocks of phones, those phones can easily become obsolete. You know, in the technology space, the electronics, especially the phones, they run out of fashion very easily. And if you go to China or wherever in Europe, you buy a lot of phones, in Japan, and it happens that the demand is not very good because maybe the economy in Kenya is in recession, and those phones, they have very good demand. At some point, you will have to sell them at throwaway prices if they have been overtaken by technology. But for this guy who is doing just in time, this is a very fun guy and a very strategic guy because he doesn't face that risk. Remember also the risk that we could have a political demonstration, like the case that we have had many times about Gen Zs. In a group demonstrate, and sometimes when they demonstrate, goons do infiltrate them and they break shops right, left, and center. So imagine some guys breaking into your shop, but all you have are dummy phones. So do they succeed? Of course they don't succeed. They get the toys. So the risk is very minimal for this person. This person does not have to go to a bank to acquire a loan facility. You just need 100,000, unlike this other guy who requires 5 million Kenya shillings. So imagine now, on the flip side, compare and contrast with another guy who had the financial capital. And he thinks, for me, I have to go to China. They get a container of phones, different varieties, some in different colors, different models. But there's no one who has promised him that they will be coming to their shop to buy. So it's purely guesswork. You're saying, just in case, let me buy all these phones, the quantities, the qualities, the color, the brands, just in case some people might come to my shop and ask for this model. So what do they end up doing? They end up spending so much money, tying the capital in some unmoving stock. Then when they come back here in Kenya, you have to procure and rent a very huge space. You become a target of thieves, of even your own employees, because the phones are so many, they can easily be stolen without you knowing. You have really to protect your phones from being stolen. You have to invest heavily on CCTV cameras, on security guards, on insurance, just in case model is not a very good model, especially for someone who is starting out in business. All you need to do is advertise. And I'm even speaking to these young people who have perhaps even cleared college or even high school, and you're wondering, I can't start a business because I don't have money. And also, I am not in employment, so what do I do? So it is very easy that if you have a social media page, you can, if you are interested with phones, if you are interested in shoes, with a boutique, whatever kind of products that you want to sell, you go to a certain shop, if it is phones, and you introduce yourself and ask this person, what would happen if I market these phones for you? The guy would tell you that I'll be giving you 10% for every sale that you make on my behalf. So this person allows you to take a few photos, videos inside the shop. For his shop, you take nice videos, then you go share on your social media feed. And what happens, you might need to boost it by paying a few thousands so that the social media, whether it's Facebook or TikTok, it can be able now to push that advert that you have put there so that many people can interact with it. And you will put a condition there that anyone who is interested with a product, a phone from what you're advertising, they don't have to pay anything, maybe just delivery cost, but they will pay for the phone once they see it and they have tested it. So you advertise it, you boost it. You don't even have to be influential on social media. All you need is to promote that advert. And you start getting calls. So when you get a call, you go talk to the person that you had already introduced yourself to. They give you that phone. Perhaps you might have to give them your original ID card. Do whatever you can to just make sure that they have your trust. And you deliver. And this time around, you're not sending a boda guy. You deliver by yourself so that you ensure that the person who is ordering for it, they pay. And once they pay, if it is a phone that you are given an offer of 20,000, you go sell it at 22,000 or 23,000, 24,000, you are free money. So the concept of the way people traditionally believe that for you to start a business, you must have liquid cash. All you need to use is creativity, innovation. And there you are. Maybe at some point now when you feel now you're good enough and you have attracted some good number of customers, you can, if need be, now open a shop, stock it with phones, and this time around, you also employ other people like you are employed by the first person. You encourage guys to come and take photos from your shop, tell them to market on their social media feeds. Whenever they get customers, they come, they give you give the phones, they go sell, they bring your money. That's it. So the just-in-time inventory management technique is a lifesaver, is a game changer. It's everything about any other person who has ever said, I can't do this because I don't have enough financial resources. So if you are thinking of starting a business this year, just know that you don't have to have all the financial resources that are needed. All you need is a social media platform and marketing skills, and you have to be someone who can be trusted. Go introduce yourself to someone who is already doing that business, and there you are. Just to also put this, bring this home, I don't know whether you have these hotels, leave alone the traditional hotels, the one that sometimes you get there and you order for food, and unfortunately, sometimes they serve you with leftover foods from the previous day. So you end up having a running stomach, food poisoning cases. But for those hotels that they are worth mentioning, when you go there, you place an order and you are told your order will take about 15 to 20 minutes. So what they do, they prepare that order at that particular point. If it is some fried meat that you want, they had boiled meat, it was in the boiled form. So once you make the order, what they just do is to just fry very quickly. It takes about 5 or 10 minutes. It is if it is chips, for instance, that you are ordering, those chips, the French fries, if it is chips that you are ordering, this particular hotel, maybe they had just peeled, but those chips had not been put inside the oil. So when you order, it is at that point that they put the chips in oil. And within 5 to 10 minutes, you have very fresh food coming your way, as opposed to another hotel that had cooked a lot of food the previous day, anticipating that people would come and buy, but they did not come in the expected numbers. And therefore, some foods were left over. So this hotel, at the end of the day, the ones that uses just in case, cooking so much food that just in case people come and ask for chapati, for rice, for mukimo, for this and that. And when people don't come, they suffer losses. And because they have to throw those foods away. If they don't throw, then they sell the following day, the customers complain, and at the end of the day, those customers don't come back again. But the one for just in time, they do it the other way around. They better inconvenience you for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, but they bring you something that you will be very happy about. So as I wrap it up, you don't have to have money to do business. At this time and age, with social media, with a concept, a beautiful just in time, you are there. Don't sit and just wait for employment. You can be able to create employment for yourself, as long as you have a smartphone and you can go talk to someone to allow you to take a few photos for the phone shop, for the boutique, for the shoe shop. You can go to easily. There are so many shops selling shoes, selling trousers, suits, and you put designer suits from those shops. You put on your platform, advertise. Then someone tells you, I wear this and this size. You deliver. You get your money. You pay for this to keep the rest. When you know better, you are expected to do better.